Welcome. My name's Phil Gillen, Eastern Film Fans, and I welcome Kristanna Loken to the show. It's an honour and a pleasure to have you here in my company. So thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Bless you. We're going to kick in Darkness of Man, but I'm going to have to do the fanboy thing. I apologise, but I have to talk about Terminator because I am a fanboy and I need to get it off my chest now. So apologies in advance. And I'll get that out of the way. I've interviewed loads of people. For some reason, I'm nervous with you. I don't know why. But there you go. It must be just you. You're giving that radiation. Look, Terminator Riding
I
Machine.
promise I'm not as lethal as my character.
Thank you. Thank you. No, just for me, it resonates with a lot of people, and that's the first time we saw you on screen, etc. And I thought you did something different because obviously when we saw the previous reincarnations of the Terminator, they brought something different, but you again brought something different to it. You know, your training must have been physical to bring that kind of steely to it, and as a massive role as it was for you, it must have been, you know, an honor obviously to work with Arnold, but just to get that role. And I assume you had to physical go through the motions to be able to do that role as well.
For sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did extensive training for Terminator 3. I had a weight coach. I had a nutritionist. I put on about 15 pounds of muscle mass. I was in the best shape of my life. I had my body fat down to that of an Olympic athlete. I worked with the LAPD, learning how to shoot the 45. I did Krav Maga, Israeli martial
Oh,
arts.
okay, cool.
And
Yeah, yeah.
the real icing on the cake, which was the idea of Jonathan Mostows, was to work with a mime coach,
Oh, okay.
eliminating all the human traits like showing exertion while running, blinking while firing a weapon, things of that nature. So, yeah, a lot of layers to
Hmm.
the cake.
Yeah, and you could tell that in the performance. Look, I had to bring it up because it was fantastic, and I still love
Thank
the
you.
film today. And everybody goes, "Oh, I know that. I know." I said, "I'm getting to interview it. It's fantastic." Look, let's get on Darkness of Man because that's what we're here for, which is fantastic. Now, let me get cut straight to the chase. One, I thought it was a great film, and two, I don't think Van Damme's around here, but I think you may have stolen the performance from him because your role, your performance, fantastic. Now I don't know how much was left on the cutting room floor and how much of you we see on the screen because there's not a lot, but what you do deliver, I think, hits the mark on what you're delivering as part of the film, and that role is Claire. So I do think you kind of deliver that. Was it a conscious thing that you picked up and you wanted to add something to that character? Because it could have been a little bit flat, should I say, but you brought it to life somewhat.
Thank you so much.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate that. Well, I first met James Cullen Bressack, the writer, producer, director, through a mutual friend
Yeah.
and a producer, another producer I'd worked with. And James pitched me the concept of the script, and I read his script, and I enjoyed it. And I said, let's kind of flesh out the humanity
Mm.
behind Claire, because for me, it's important, no matter what the role, you have to feel for the characters, even like
Yeah.
in Terminator, with TX, I still wanted to create some human moments where you almost want to root for her,
Mm.
even though she's the villain.
Yeah.
So it's very important to me to create that depth, no matter the role. So
Yeah, and I think that's what you captured. I think you captured the depth because I was surprised because a lot of the time you see people and you crop up and you go, oh, it's going to be throwaway. But actually, you added depth to it. There was layers to it. It was pivotal for obviously Van Damme's character and stuff. But like I say, you did add it and that came through across on screen, which is testament to you. And you, like you say, bringing that humanity came across as well. And I think that just it holds it together somewhat. You almost like the glue for the picture to a certain extent. I know we're all there to see Van Damme, punch people. That's what I like. I'm an action fan and stuff. But it was great to have that and that between you and Jean-Claude and that back and forth and that coming into that and just grounding it somewhat as well. So yeah, I
well,
really enjoyed it.
I'm glad you felt that, because that's
Mm.
what I think, and I hope that people will be refreshed by with
Yeah,
this film. It's not
exactly.
just your action film. There's a little bit of heart and soul and depth to it as well, which I think takes you on this journey we see Van Damme in a different light,
Mm.
maybe only in the likes of JCVD, where we've seen him before with this kind of depth and emotional life. And I think that's what really makes it stand apart
Mm.
from other films.
And you're right. There's a different angle to it, and I'm going to get to speak to the director as well. But I liked the overlay, the voiceover over the top and the stuff, and it was a little bit Marlowe in its conception and stuff, and it kept you guessing. And what they had and what he delivered, I think, was really good for what you delivered as a film. And I was really surprised by it, and I really enjoyed it. It's one I'll be touting. I'm conscious of time, and I also want to get a little bit about yourself. What other things have you got coming up planned for yourself? Is there anything you can?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got 3 other projects
Oh,
coming
excellent.
out. Yep. First is a film that I also produced, my company Trio Entertainment. It's called Vice and Virtue.
Okay.
It's a dramedy. I'm also in it with a great ensemble cast. So that'll be out later this year. And then a film called Dark Night of the Soul, and that's taken from an eponymous poem. It's a survival film, essentially my 127 hours.
Okay.
Martin Cove plays my dad, and
Nice.
it's really a film about staring death in the face. Have you done what you've needed to do in order to move to the afterlife? You
Nice.
have something left to do before you move on.
Nice.
So that's Dark Night of the Soul. And then I have a film called No Address, which underscores the homeless crisis that we're currently having here in the United States. And I play the wife of Billy Baldwin, and we essentially, just a few steps away from ending up homeless. And so that's a great ensemble piece as well, with Beverly D'Angelo and Ashanti and some other great people. So it's a mixture of people just really making choices in their life, and how certain choices can take us one direction and other choices lead us down a different path.
Fantastic. They all sound, yeah, like you say, bringing humanity to a role and stuff. You've obviously clung on to that and taken that forward in the roles that you're going to do. So I really look forward to those. I've got one final question I ask of all my guests. So get ready for it. It is this: if you're stuck on a desert island and can only take 3 films with you, and it can be any genre you want, what 3 films do you take?
Okay, the top 3
Go
would
on.
have to be The English Patient,
Oh, nice.
Dirty Dancing,
Oh, cool. Yeah, go.
and Apocalypse Now.
Oh, that's a nice variety. I've had some answers that just, really just different ones from all different people and stuff, and it's fantastic just to get a glimmer of insight. And look, if we talk again, I'll ask you the same question. You can pick a different 3, so it's
Okay,
not
cool.
hard and fast rule, but thank you very much. Look, thank you very much. I wish you all the success with Darkness of Man. I thought it was fantastic. I can't wait to get it out there and for other people to see it as well. So, and good luck with your future projects. And yeah, and take care. And thank you for your time today.
Oh, my pleasure. It was really nice speaking with you. All the
Yeah,
best.
and you, bless you. Take care.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.